how to write the perfect dispute letter. So you need to complete these 3 things. We have the paragraph that we're writing, we have the dispute reason that we're writing, and then we have a 1-line closing. I can't make this any easier than this. There is nothing that is complicated about this. So we can easily write a dispute letter by answering just a few simple questions. Why are you writing this letter to the credit bureaus? What do you want them to do? Did you dispute before and receive a response? If not, it's recommended to complete like a sentence relating to their failure to respond within 30 days. You always need to ask for a new credit report reflecting the changes. An example is easy. I found inaccuracies on the following accounts and these need to be removed. Please send me a new credit report reflecting these changes. If I had disputed before and they had not responded or there was a violation, I could put it right before it. Please send me a new credit report reflecting these changes. Here's another example. I received a copy of my credit report with Identity IQ and noticed fraudulent reporting and inaccuracies that require your attention and deletion. I did send a dispute letter last month and no response was received within the 30-day required timing. Please remove all of the following accounts and inaccuracies immediately and send me a new credit report. It's as simple as that. So then we put our dispute reasons, we put our 1-line closing, and then that's it. Now that you know the actual way to write the initial paragraph, let's talk about the thing that actually removes the accounts, and that's going to be the dispute reason. The ADJO formula allows you a repeatable way, no matter what you're disputing, collections, charge-offs, repos, foreclosures, bankruptcy judgments, tax liens, to take the information from your credit report and generate an actual dispute reason. I can literally look at any part of this credit report and create a dispute reason with this formula. It includes action, delete or correct. Justifier is the word because. Element is the thing that you're disputing. The reason is the facts, and the outcome is for removing late payments. I have the definitions. In Word Bank, instead of delete, we can say remove, correct, update. Use inaccuracy, violation, false reporting, fraudulent reporting. Instead of account, you can say charge off, inquiry, collection, bankruptcy, late payment. An example would be delete this charge off for a violation because the monthly payment reports on a closed account in the amount of $15. Why? Because a closed account should not have a monthly payment. That was just my reasoning so you can understand how this works. Or remove the late payments from the payment history. Experian reports January 20 as 30 days late. Equifax reports paid on time, and TransUnion reports no payment history at all. When you're looking at the actual dispute letter structure, it's going to look like this. Your name, date of birth, social, address, today's date, bureau name and address, your why paragraph, your disputed accounts and reasons, your 1-line closing, and your name. You have the link to this. You can use this to write your version, first paragraph, dispute reasons, letter closing, and that's it. You can save it, type in your email, and sign up to receive more. It's straightforward. Once you have the formula, take all of the information and plug it into that formula, and it's going to tell you the actual answer, right? So if we know that, I'm not even going to give you a math equation, but you can take, the numbers, plug it into your math equation because your formula tells you the way to solve it. Now you can use it repeatedly for any numbers. The samurai method is exactly what I showed you, but we're not going to go into this. You can check this out yourself. It goes more into the perfect dispute reason. You will want to use Smart Credit or Identity IQ. The samurai method is the action, justifier, element, reason, outcome. Part 1 goes into the reasoning. Part 2 explains why we use the word because. Part 3, it gives you a list of things that you can dispute, like date last paid, notice of dispute, first day of delinquency, date last reported, date last active, payment history, balance past due, high balance, open date, status, type, and terms. Each of these depends on the type of inaccuracy available and whether there's a violation present. We can't simply state that the account is inaccurate, nor can we only state that a specific part of the account is inaccurate. We must state that account is inaccurate or in violation and the part of the account in dispute and the facts that support this to demand as evident in the credit report. You can see this with any dispute reason I write. Now, part 4, we're just supporting it with facts. You have to include every part of it. If we're looking at late payments, date last paid, or notice of dispute, we need to have our reason why this charge off needs to be removed. We get this information from the credit report. So on this one, the date last paid is correct. The date last active is correct. The date last reported is correct. So the good thing is that this one that we're looking at right on the screen is a positive account, and I wouldn't have deleted that. But if we went and found a negative account like this one right here, we can see that we have a couple of different things that we can work with. These two bureaus never updated this account, even though it was disputed. So where are we getting this information from? We're getting it from the credit report. If you look at monthly payment, this account is closed. It says closed, paid, right? This is a closed and paid account, but it still shows $183 in the monthly payment. So as you can see, there's sometimes that you're going to use date last paid, sometimes that you're going to use the payment history, which we could here because there's nothing other than 120 days late. And then sometimes we're going to have to get creative, but everything you need is evident on the credit report. Don't go ambiguously, meaning just because we're just going to randomly choose something to dispute. You don't want to do that. If you do that, you are going to end up with a dispute reason that makes no sense. Let's go back. We're going to jump past this. You already know how to put all together. You already know the structure, and we have some dispute reason examples. Go through this top to bottom, understand the samurai method, understand the ADJO method, understand how to create that formula because it's magic. It's going to remove your negative items. And if you need a visual way to look at this, I have another one. So we're looking at how to write a dispute reason. The completed example is delete this account for inaccuracy because the date last active reports 121 on Experian, 222 on Equifax, and 3/2019 on TransUnion. How did we create that? There were multiple things that could be disputed. When we look at it this way, it makes a lot of sense. We have our action like delete, correct, remove, update. We have our item type like account, inquiry, public record, personal information. We have our dispute type like inaccuracy, violation, missing information. We have our justifier, which is because. And then the thing we are disputing, date last active, date last paid, date last reported, notice of dispute, first stage delinquency, monthly payment history, high balance, past due, open date, type, terms, balance, etc. And then you can use shows, reports, lists, reflects, and then all you're doing is plugging in the facts. One thing you want to do is analyze your report. Find all inaccuracies on each account. Then you're going to put all inaccuracies through the hierarchy, and I'm going to show you the hierarchy. The inverted dispute reason pyramid is the hierarchy. We have things that are more important than the other. And this is one of the most important things that you're going to see or use, and I need you to pay attention. Our biggest ammo is rounds 1 through 5. We have date last paid, notice of dispute, charge-offs, monthly payments, collections, lates, and past dues, status, update, date reported. If you disputed something and the bureaus did not update this date last reported, you're going to see that on Identity IQ where it says, I believe last reported right here, 3/2020 and 3/2020. It means that they did not investigate. Your backup rounds are balance. I would put payment history in the biggest ammo depending on what you are disputing. Then we have high balance, method of verification, transferred, sold, and on collections, a limit. Your last resort, the stuff you just don't want to use, the open date, type, terms, comments, unless you're talking about the notice of dispute, the status detail, pay an account, limit, and account number. Those things are not going to remove your negatives, all right? But the things that are going to remove your negatives are the things that are at the top here. All right. So again, you want to put your stuff through the hierarchy, take that number one inaccuracy or violation and list the reason why it is inaccurate or in violation. All you're going to do is fill out the facts section of this chart, fill out the rest of the chart left to right as I just showed you, and write the full dispute reason below and add it to your dispute letter. So that is how we were able to create this dispute reason by extracting the facts. I found the things that didn't belong on there. I'm disputing the date last active, although now I would actually dispute the date last paid instead of the date last active. And then I'm telling them to delete this account for inaccuracy. So that is as simple as it gets. So now let's go a little bit deeper into this. All right. So when disputing, you have a checklist. Locate derogatory accounts, locate all the inaccuracies for each account, create that hierarchy that I was mentioning, create a dispute reason for the number one inaccuracy at the top of the hierarchy, and then you're going to compose your dispute letter. You're going to include the number one reason for each account, include the reason why you're writing the letter, just as I showed you when we went over how to write the perfect dispute letter, and then send out your dispute. Before you do that, remove all instances of pursuant to, my intention, litigation, CC attorney, and anything that makes it look like you are a credit repair company. There's a very specific form you need notarized and sent.